hk.net. And so it's actually talking about an American, hang on, I'll show you. It's talking about an American ABC girl, that American born Chinese, who was born and raised in Western country, and he or she, the unknown publisher, published a book centering to Hong Kong girls. Here is we can see Hong Kong girls as the Westerners' sex toys as a topic. Here, Westerners' private parts. So the text begins with talking about a commonly known Hong Kong phenomenon, that is, the Hong Kong girls tend to worship the whites and make them as kings and higher the status of the whites just because they are white skinned and they can speak English. Here you can see, as long as you can speak English and you're white, and then girls will just line up and been wanting to sex with you, and that's just so. The interesting thing is the unknown people who published this sex book guide has included numerous testimonials and evidences of those Hong Kong girls with their bad pictures, with just their bra and undies on it, and that increases the credibility actually of this publisher. So in fact, I like the way how this text points out the fact that those Hong Kong girls and those women are represented and projected as nasty, lustful, and whatever it is, and we can say prostitutes with no self-values at all, and especially in the Westerners' eyes. And I personally buy this saying, and in fact all over the world, actually not Hong Kong. So on the text it mentioned that despite of those Hong Kong girls got upped, and still they would give up their self-esteem to be speak good on their side, like, oh, that's just happened the way it is, and that's just the way their culture are. Just translated it from Chinese, they just said in this paragraph. And in fact, that the fact people go after casual sex practices either for money or leisure purposes. So, but what makes this Hong Kong girls particularly stand out of this issue, and rather not pointing fingers at those girls in Thailand, Indonesia, or even in Philippines or etc. This is why you have to continue watching this video, and because the phenomenon that the Hong Kong girls worshipping the whites is not a news anymore, and it's rather easy to actually spot out and notice how girls are attracted to whites like a magnet in Hong Kong. So, going back to our PowerPoint. So, not to deny that what the text was pointing out, and however, it would be more objective if the text allow us to see more than just the fact itself. For example, what makes the saying Chinese girls are dirty sluts or Chinese women are wilder on the bad performances or whatever? There is actually a specific linkage to the history factor. So by analyzing this piece of text according to Stuart Hall's encoding and decoding theory, I personally hold a negotiable position. That means that I have doubt in it. So now here's the thing, people. The text itself is problematic because it's actually not inclusive. And so, in what ways it excludes, and not to deny the fact that was being carried out. However, as a whole, the text excludes the other reasons and aspects that contribute to the phenomenon and the perception of Hong Kong girls. So what went wrong? Easy. Some voices are excluded. The entire text seemed to focus only on what Hong Kong girls did. However, what about the whites? What about the ongoing phenomenon of Asian fetish? Have you heard about Asian fetish? What about that? I explained to you what's meant by Asian fetish. Yellow fever refers to the sexual preferences of Asian, to be easy. So, especially to Asian women. So that's called Asian fetish. And among all the dating apps users, interestingly, 2.4 2.4 million male Facebook dating app users have a special preferences of Asian woman. And one of it's called OkCupid Dating. A study of the Cardiff University in the year of 2012 that they said East Asian women scored the highest, where the Asian men were at the bottom. So, moreover, reinforced by the history of the East Asian woman as sex workers and sex trafficking, sex tourism and sex trade was very, very popular in the Asian history. Nearly 2 over 3, that is 24 million, human trafficking victims are from Asia, and most of it are from East Asian women, become part of the sex trade. Looking at the data, the prevalence of the Asian sex workers reinforces about the Asian woman as hypersexual and better in sex performance or sex partners. And since then, Asian pornography, especially from Chinese and Japanese, started to arise. So therefore, it even reinforces the objectification of Asian women as a commodities, and all the above explained contribute to the perception of Asian women as a commodities nowadays. It happens not only during those period of time, and rather we understand now is actually from the long history of Asian women and with other factors like being a sex slave or a sex worker, and also the yellow fetish. So it's actually both interrelated. And however, to be objective and to state the whole picture instead of just showing part of the fact. And there's also a tendency of Western people having an indescribable preferences towards Asian women too, and their eyes, their face, their height, and this is known as yellow fever, as I just mentioned before. So therefore, my only question is, why only focus zooming on the white fever that is about the Asian woman, just Hong Kong girls just go crazy, go nuts about white guy. In this text, I'm not stating that it's not true what they're saying, but it would be better if they post and if they just laid out the entire picture so people can see it very clearly. The phenomenon of whitewashing also plays a significant role in contributing to the white fever as well. So, what is white fever? To trim it in the very simple words, whitewashing refers to everything dominated by the whites. With everything dominated by the whites, as you can see here, white actors, the whites tend to dominate the big characters only, while the enemy that tend to be people of color. And again, the magazine RIP stands for the people of color, while the white ones say hello gorgeous, that is ridiculous. And about these two, whitewashing like the good and nice characters. So it ranges from white models, you can see, from white actors, and actually dominates the entire country or entire industry. Whoa, that's so white. So now when the white seems to dominate in every single aspect of our lives, the white seems to be holding a dominant position among all the social classes, and they become the superior ones, and therefore people tend to give privileges to them. That's called white privilege. So the phenomenon as white privilege, that means that as long as you're white, everything of you is good, everything of you is perfect, it's good. And this result in social ideologies that white are the best. And it's also a strong reason that why Hong Kong girls, actually not just Hong Kong girls, it's everyone just looked up on a white person. As long as you're white, they think you're intelligent and etc. So to conclude, I think it's important to know and to see things as a multi-perspective ways before making any judgment, and not to state that one is right or one is wrong. But however, it is very important, crucial to comprehend the entire picture and dig deeper into possible elements that affects that possibly contribute to the emergence of the phenomenon. Moving on. So how does the text actually makes me feel? As a Hong Kong girl myself, I understand what this text is trying to make point of the situation of the Hong Kong girls nowadays towards the white and trying to make them as kings, and it's very common thing, which I don't deny the fact that. But however, despite of that, I think if this text could have been more objective and persuasive in the case that they could include and take into account of other perspective and reasonable elements that I just mentioned, let's say what contributes to this phenomenon, like we can say whitewashing, or we can say what contributes to the name of Chinese as a prostitutes, that it's actually from long history, like all these kind of things, then that would be more persuasive to me. And how does it actually reflect the current attitude toward women in Hong Kong? Well, that is very serious. And needless to say, it reflects totally negative views, as you can see. And despite the text seems to only pointing out a specific group of Hong Kong girls that are seems to be proud of themselves or what they're doing and as toys or whatever, but yet there are still implications and consequences that you should know. And for those without a certain background of knowledge of what is going on and what contributes to the issue, and they just take literally what the text is talking about, they will actually hold a wrong judgment and negative stereotypes easily to all of the Hong Kong girls. They just take everything as a whole. For example, this piece of text can actually lead people in subjective, like this piece of text that we just been through the website, lead people making subjective and incomprehensive judgment that all women in Hong Kong are cheap and tends to worship the whites, and regardless of money, purpose, or etc. Let's take me as an example. The picture is me. I'm pure Chinese and I already engaged with a white guy. He's an American, nice guy and handsome. And every time we hang out, and people just tend to look at me and give me a lustful glance, and just like I'm with him for money purpose or for something else. So how would I feel? Of course I'll feel shitty because I chose to be with him, this guy, and we both were committed to each other. We found love, we found comfortable with each other, and therefore we just decided to commit ourselves to each other's life for the rest of our life. And people just look at me the way that negative perceptions, like all Hong Kong girls, Hong Kong women desperately go for a white guy just for money purpose or any negative purposes. So as you can see, this can directly construct serious damage to the perception of the general and even all Hong Kong women in Hong Kong negatively. So lastly, before I end this video, I would like to say thank you to my respectable teacher Florence, and she's a very knowledgeable teacher in the area of culture and media studies. She taught me a lot and she opened up my eyes, and she encouraged me to share this video on this YouTube channel. And thank you very much guys for watching this video. Please help subscribe my channel, and each time I'll be bringing up new topics, like triggering topics like fitness and health and etc. You name it, please comment below, and thank you very much.